All right, my friends, here you are listening to the home of conservative and not bitter talk, and you made a great decision by doing so. Email address to send me your thoughts, opinions, feedback, whatever. Todd@toddhuffshow.com. And it is good to be here. Thank you for joining us. So I want to start. I have a list of things, as I normally do, when I sit down behind the microphone. And, sometimes I'm not entirely sure where I want to begin. There's a lot of reasons for that. Some things I look at, obviously, the day before, get some thoughts together, forget about it till the morning, and then I begin to look at things a little bit differently. If, for example, something was trending on Twitter or has developed or has maybe broken since I last looked as I'm getting ready before this program in the morning, it can affect what it is that I want, that I think we need to start with. And so what I want to start with this morning, and yes, we're going to get to this story about AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and the riots at the Capitol. We're going to talk about the Capitol Hill complex because there's been some news yesterday that basically said that AOC was in where the riots took place, which was the Capitol building. She was in her office, which is in one of the three House office complexes. And it's close by, but it's not the same building. And for folks who haven't been there, I guess it may not be obvious, some of the details and intricacies and so forth. So I do want to get to that, but I don't want to start there. Yesterday, I played a soundbite for you. From Jen Psaki. Now, I don't want to get in the habit of doing this. I could already tell you that we've done this multiple times. And folks, we are just, 2 weeks into this nonsense. I've played sound bites from Jen Psaki several times, and I'm already regretting having to play this one. In fact, this one I'm going to play is going to set up another one. Now, you remember when Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Sean Spicer and especially Kayleigh they hated Kayleigh McEnany, I think, the most, although Sarah Huckabee Sanders was up there as well. But they hated these folks. Hated women, by the way. Where was that? They hated women when they were in positions of power. In fact, they acted like the only time that a woman has been empowered by a president has been with Joe Biden, even though Trump had empowered many women, installed them into positions of power and spokesperson positionships and so forth. But anyway, that doesn't matter because that doesn't fit the narrative, because conservatives, as you well know, wink, wink, following the narrative, hate women, minorities, anyone who doesn't share the same beliefs as them. We hate them. Of course, nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, that's the very premise upon which this program was built. Being conservative, not bitter, just means, hey, we can be different. I'm proud to be conservative, and I can explain to you why I'm conservative. In fact, I think the ideas that I embrace, I know the ideas that I embrace are good. The ideas that you embrace, the ideas that our founders embrace, the ideas that the Constitution embodies are good for all people. Conservatism isn't about carving out one particular group or subset of people and saying, hey, let's make this work for us and let's forget about everyone else. No, conservatism is rooted in this idea of liberty, that liberty comes from our Creator God. And by the way, God created us all in His image. We're all created in the image of God. We all have incredible abilities, talents. Folks are geniuses. And average everyday people have a genius in something, a talent, or some sort of spectacular ability. I've seen it. You've seen it time and time again. Too many times, though, we don't tap into it. Sometimes for reasons that are practical, we can't do it, or sometimes we don't have confidence. We haven't pursued it. Whatever the case may be, some people do pursue it. Lots of people do. Anyway, that is not how it's portrayed in the media. In fact, the media portrays us, the left portrays us as having hatred for other groups of people. Nothing can be further from the truth. When I say I'm conservative, not bitter, that's what I'm addressing. By the way, some people think I'm addressing other programs. I'm not speaking of another program whatsoever. I do, however, believe that sometimes people think conservatives are angry and bitter. Talk radio is those things. I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm simply saying I'm not. We've got to cut through the clutter, and we've got to get to people who are who have different viewpoints. And we better find a way to communicate and persuade. Otherwise, we're going to be in a worse situation tomorrow than we are today. And we're just, like I said, 2 weeks into this administration here. So buckle up for what's about to come. But this is yesterday. Well, this happened 2 days ago, but I played it yesterday. I couldn't have played it before it happened, so I had to play it yesterday. But this is Jen Psaki and her exchange where she talks about, she was asked about Space Force. She's asked about Space Force, and she laughs about it. Now, keep in mind, Biden is commander-in-chief. Keep in mind that Biden is as much commander-in-chief of the Space Force, as much as it pains me to say that, as he is the U.S. Navy, U.S. Army, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Air Force, whatever. He's the commander-in-chief of all of these, terrifying though that may be. So I want you to listen to this exchange, and then I want you to listen how she tries to walk this back. But just remember, I just think it's important to set the stage of what we were told. We were being run by a dictator, Donald Trump, who was surrounded by a bunch of idiots and liars like Kayleigh McEnany. I'm not saying she is. This is what we were told. She's a stupid idiot. She's a moron. She's all of these things. This is what we were told. She is not. So you clearly know I'm not saying that. I'm simply relaying to you what they said about her. And, in fact, we interviewed Kayleigh McEnany at one point in time, but very sharp, articulate spokesperson. Anyway, so this is what they want you to think. Now we've got the real professionals, and this is why everybody can take a deep sigh of relief. Trump's gone. Nuclear codes are safe, right? We don't have to worry about dictatorship or Nazis marching through Washington, D.C. Of course, we got the National Guard and barricades around everything in Washington, D.C. for political theater at this particular point in time. But we were told that Trump was the one who was going to stage some sort of a coup, right? Maybe even having the military join him, for all we know. Some of these radical predictions, expectations, and so forth. Now the pros are in. Now, one thing we can agree on is that the people that are in government today are the lifers, right? The people that are in government today are the ones who have been there for an eternity. Biden has been in politics, has been an elected official in some capacity for nearly half a century. Half a century. Think about that. And we've elected this guy to push through things that, well, we as a nation, not you and I. But this guy was elected to stop Trump from whatever Trump was doing that was endangering the United States, even though he seemed to unleash the power of the individual and the U.S. economy and so forth. That was considered dangerous. And I think that is dangerous to the socialist left. They want those things to not be unleashed. They want to promise to provide for you so that you can learn to depend upon them and they can take control of more and more of your life. But the left and the average rank and file Democrats, heck, maybe even some never-Trumpers, a couple of those, and some disgruntled Republicans voted for Biden. And it's as though they didn't know what they were voting for. And to a certain degree, it's understandable because Biden didn't campaign. As you know, Biden hid in his basement for the duration of the campaign, pretty much the whole time. And, I can understand where they're coming from because when the guy got out there to talk, he didn't make a whole lot of sense. He would challenge people to fights, push-up contests. This happened, by the way. Called some guy, hey, fat. Of course, the campaign tried to say, no, he was saying, hey, facts. He was telling him, hey, those aren't facts. I mean, give me a break. We have ears. We could see the video of what was transpiring. We could see that Biden was being challenged. And when he's challenged, he goes back to how he apparently acted in 1951 or whatever it was, when he used to take people out back as he threatened to take Trump around back and whoop him. But we're the violent side, remember? But these are the things that Biden does and did. He's done this his entire political career, the 3 times he's run for president and all this. I mean, this is who the guy is, right? And so now we're told, though, that America's safe. Everybody can take a sigh of relief because the professionals are back in town. So one of these professionals, Jen Psaki, who's the press secretary for the Biden administration, said this earlier this week, and I want to play this along with her form of a retraction that she said yesterday. Here it is.
They ask whether the president has made a decision on keeping the scope of Space Force.
Wow, Space Force. It's the plane of today. It is an interesting question. I am happy to check with our Space Force point of contact. I'm not sure who that is. I will find out and see if we have any update on that.
Maybe it's the president, Jen. Gee whiz. Space Force. Oh, yes. So Commander-in-Chief spokesperson mocking, effectively, the Space Force. Because why? Because Trump. It's as though these folks have forgotten that Trump is gone and now they're in control. Now they're the ones at the helm. So the Space Force should be a good thing. It's as though she forgot this. This is how it's supposed to work. Democrats have ridden in to save us from ourselves and from Trump. And anyway, so yesterday, I pulled up the wrong soundbite here. Let me pull this one up. Yesterday, she was asked about this. Now, you heard her. Space Force. Yes. Oh, yes. Ooh, Space Force. Woo. That was basically her response. Some maybe a little bit of drama added there for effect. But you get the idea. That was what she said yesterday. When asked about those comments, this was her response.
Our view. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jen. The top Republican on the House Armed Services Committee is asking you to apologize for some of the comments that you made yesterday in the briefing room about the Space Force. Will you apologize?
I did send a tweet last night. You may not all be on Twitter. Maybe they're not on Twitter. That said, we invite the members of Space Force here to provide an update to all of you on all of the important work they're doing, and we certainly look forward to seeing continued updates from their team.
But big picture here, I mean, does the Space Force have the full support of the Biden administration, or is the president at some point perhaps going to try to get rid of it or in some way diminish it?
They absolutely have the full support of the Biden administration, and we are not revisiting the decision to establish the Space Force. The desire for the Department of Defense to focus greater attention and resources on the growing security challenges in space has long been a bipartisan issue, informed by numerous independent commissions and studies conducted across multiple administrations. And thousands of men and women proudly serve in the Space Force. As you know, it was established by Congress, and any other steps would actually have to be taken by Congress.
Whatever. Maybe he could sign an executive order for that, Jen, as well. We had an executive order ruler in here. Yesterday, we shared that he had signed 28 executive orders. That doesn't include the others. There's other things like declarations, and I don't know what these things are called, but I might have to look in the notes here. But, 28 actual executive orders in the first 14 days. That's a pretty healthy pace that we got going there. But Jen Psaki, of course, he's got the Space Force has the support of this president. Did you apologize? Well, I sent a tweet out last night saying that inviting people in. You tweeted. So you invited people in via tweet? That's what you did? Why don't you ask your boss about the questions that pertain to his perspective on the Space Force? And by the way, why were you laughing? Yes, Space Force. Space Force. I mean, that's kind of the response. Anyway, this doesn't sound like the professionals to me. And I think, look, for as terrifying as this landscape is, Democrat who's president, who's being directed and led by some very radical people, You've got the House and the Senate both in the hands of Democrats as well. This is a precarious time to be in this situation, right? It really is. The only thing we have preventing some really, really crazy stuff from happening is maybe Joe Manchin, maybe Senator Sinema from Arizona, maybe. Those are maybes. Maybe the filibuster in certain situations when they don't try to do things like budget reconciliation. Maybe. Who knows? I don't put anything past them. But this is the best that they've got. This is who these folks are. We're supposed to believe the professionals have rolled in and that everything is going to be hunky-dory apple pie again. And truth is, I mean, they're condescending. Truth is, they find the military to be, at least the Space Force, to be a joke. In fact, they're for increasing budgets for anything except the military, typically. Jen Psaki does need to, I think, apologize for mocking the Space Force and the individuals who serve in that branch. Anyway, these are the professionals. Remember this. We were told that Trump was the leader of the inept, of the Nazis, he was a dictator. Biden comes in 2 weeks, signs 28 executive orders, gets a press secretary out there that seems to stumble over herself every 5 seconds, who's going to circle back on everything. Circle back. In fact, we'll come back and circle back after this break. Quick timeout isn't needed. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. Circle back to you after this break. Sit tight.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter. To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.
Welcome back. I can't wait. I just saw something here that I hadn't seen until now, so I'm excited to mention this to you. But I want to tell you that this program is brought to you in part by our friends at Indy Trading Post. Folks, did you know that you can have the experience of firing a full auto machine gun? That is correct. Indy Trading Post provides that opportunity for you to do here in the metropolitan Indianapolis area. You can fire a full automatic machine gun. Sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it? You can find out more by visiting fullautoindy.com. That's fullautoindy.com. You can also call 317-782-4867. But fullautoindy.com is where you can find out more information as to how you can have the experience of firing a full auto machine gun. So I can't get into this yet. Oh boy, it is a lot of fun. It is so tempting to me, but I don't want to get us off track here. But I have to mention this. I'm looking here during the break. We have Fox turned on. I got mixed feelings about that, if I'm being honest. We did have, Newsmax doesn't really have news, I don't think, until 6:30. Oz manages this portion of stuff. I just look up there. I didn't see this before. How I didn't see this, I don't know. New York Times is calling for some experts. The experts, I love the experts, by the way. The experts are calling for Biden. And if I say Obama, you got to forgive me because I got in my head that this is term number 3, and in a lot of ways it is, of the Biden-Obama administration, if you remember Biden out there saying that. But they want to appoint a reality czar. They want Biden to appoint a reality czar. Folks, do you look to government to tell you what reality is? I actually look to government to say this is not reality. What we're experiencing, the viewpoints, the perspectives, the ideology that is embraced by the lovers of big government is the furthest thing from reality that I'm aware of, that we're supposed to take seriously. In fact, if we don't take it seriously, they will force us to take seriously because government is, by definition, force. Anyway, so tempting to run down this line of reality czar. This might be something we talk about on Friday. Reality czar. You want to tell me, you want me to tell you something that a leftist is not qualified? There's a lot of things, but one thing that a radical leftist is not qualified to be a czar of, reality. They are not qualified to be czar of reality in the most bizarre of circumstances you can come up with. There could be 8 people on this planet, 7 of them be radical leftists, 1 person just be a common, average, everyday Joe. That person is more qualified to be a reality czar than the 7 radical leftists. I can think of no circumstance where a leftist is qualified to tell any of us about reality. Anyway, so tempting to talk more about that, but I won't. I want to get back to this Biden, right? Biden's out there signing executive orders left and right. This is how the left likes to govern. They like to govern by decree, by edict. In fact, if they could have somebody out there with the trumpet when Biden decides to walk up to the podium, dun, 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 hear ye, the great President Biden has a decree to share with the people. They would love that. This is right up their alley, and we don't need a reality czar to tell us that that's the case. So if you go back in time, remember we had debates. We had a couple of debates. We were supposed to have one more debate, but it got canceled because of COVID. Under the auspices of COVID, we had a reality. We had a virtual, I should say, a virtual campaign being run by some guy that was in his basement. Occasionally would go out in public, stand on stage while people sat in their cars. And yes, I believe all the honking was from when people dozed off and their heads hit their horns. I do believe that. I think that science has proven that. 98% of scientists would agree with that. And so that's what I think happened. And we had this campaign of a virtual campaign. Now we got a virtual president, a guy that really isn't running the show, a guy that isn't really doing what he told us he was going to do, and he won't. We have to accept this for what it is. This is the game that they play. Now, they'll try to get political cover from the media, but the truth is, this is how it's going to be. And we're 14 days in. So, back in October, there was supposed to be a debate. But because Biden was scared of Trump and, being in public, basically, he sat on stage with George Stephanopoulos about 65 feet away. And he answered questions, softball questions. I remember talking about this. This was back in October. And George Stephanopoulos said they were talking about Biden and his desire to increase taxes, which sounds like a very important thing for someone who believes in liberty to do, right? Wink, wink. But George Stephanopoulos said this: so there's not going to be any delay on the tax increases. That was the question. This is Biden's response.
No, well, I got to get the votes. That's why, the one thing that I have this strange notion. We are a democracy. Some of my Republican friends and some of my Democratic friends even occasionally say, well, if you can't get the votes by executive order, you're going to do something. Things you can't do by executive order unless you're a dictator. We're a democracy. We need consensus.
Got to take a quick...
whatever that... we don't need consensus. Biden saying words he doesn't know what they mean. We're not a democracy either. There's certainly democratic aspects, but we're a constitutional republic. But he's right. He's called himself a dictator. By Biden's own words, he's now a dictator because he's governing through fiat, through executive order, and this, he tells us, is how dictators govern. And this is, by the way, how dictators govern. But this is, it doesn't matter because the media is applauding it. This is to undo the mess that Trump's put us in. Oh, so terrible. He got to come in and clean this up. In fact, he probably needed, in the minds of the radical left, to do 280 executive orders in the first 2 weeks to fix everything Trump did wrong. Biden says, I need the votes, referring to the House and Senate's votes instead of just dictating by executive order and fiat. Well, where are the votes? Do you see Joe Manchin? Joe Manchin just said he's not going to be on board with any COVID relief package that isn't bipartisan, which means if he stays true to that, that means that budget reconciliation isn't going to work because they need all 50 senators plus the vote of the president of the Senate, vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris. She has to be the tie-breaking vote. That gives them budget reconciliation, but not if Joe Manchin isn't on board. So, folks, we may have 2 more years of this. We may have 2 more years of asking ourselves, what is Senator Joe Manchin going to do? Maybe Kyrsten Sinema as well from the state of Arizona. There could be 1 or 2 others, but that might be the whole fate of this country may, gee whiz, hinge on the votes of a couple of these senators. So, timeout is in order. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. Good decision, by the way. Back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Welcome back. I decided during the break that I talked with Oz about this. So it is official. Welcome to America's Reality Czar. I am now officially America's Reality Czar. President Biden, the Biden-Obama administration number 3. If you're interested in a reality czar, hit me up. I'd love to have some things to say in your administration. Just trying to help here. This is a public service announcement. America's Reality Czar. If you don't understand what that means, then listen to the last segment of the program. That's what the New York Times is clamoring for. Anyway, okay, I've hesitated talking about this for several reasons. One, just the emotional connection to this and where this can go. And what this is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And this related to the Capitol riots. So AOC is out there. She's calling for the expulsion of members of the House because members of the House who did not vote to, or who challenged, I should say, the electors from certain states, these folks, she claims, are engaged in treasonous, seditionist behavior. They are trying to overthrow a duly elected government in the United States. Of course, no one's ever looked at it like this in the past. People, this is something that congressmen and senators have the right to do. Now, context is king. I've learned that there's going to be a time if let's say, and I'm not predicting this, but let's say Trump decides to run again, not predicting it, and let's say Trump wins somehow. They will guarantee that they will challenge. It doesn't even matter if there's literally zero evidence of voter fraud. This will be the technique, because they'll say, hey, Republicans did it. Well, hey, Republicans did it for this, and this reason, right? They act as though there are no reasons. Of course, there's many reasons. And I'm willing to entertain discussions from people who say that they're not valid. There's not enough votes that would have been flipped or whatever. Okay, we can discuss that. But to act like there's no voter fraud and to act like there was no problem in this election is truly the height of hypocrisy and ridiculousness, because there was. We've seen it. We've seen, thousands of people come forward and sign affidavits making some very, in some cases, just incredible claims. And there's evidence of some of this. Now, again, it doesn't mean that it's enough. Many of you say it absolutely was. It was their strategy. Okay. But we ought to be able to have that discussion, right? But anyway, AOC says congressmen and senators who had questions about the election because of this, they were forming effectively a coup. Now, never mind that we actually had a coup being run by the left, in particular Obama, and the team of radical leftists when Trump was in office. Never mind the fact that candidate Trump had his campaign spied on by the Obama administration, by our government. Never mind any of that stuff. Never mind the fake Russian dossier, the phony story that we had to listen to for a couple of years, the fake impeachment nonsense number one. Now we got fake impeachment nonsense number two. Forget all of that. That's a lot to forget, because that dominated our conversation for a long, long time. We're supposed to believe that by questioning a state's electors, even when there are legitimate reasons to do so, makes you a seditionist, a treasonist. And so this is what AOC is saying. So, of course, this all goes back to the riots on Capitol Hill and on January 6th. And, Trump speaks that morning, tells the protesters, after this, you're probably going to march over. I'm paraphrasing here, but he did say, peacefully and patriotically over to the Capitol to make your voices heard. Now, he said you're going to have to fight like hell, I think he said. And they said, aha, that's it. Fight like hell. As though that's the only... That is not meant to be taken literally. I mean, I was an athlete in high school and college, and I remember just this is how people talk. You have to have metaphors, and we got to keep fighting out there till the game's over. I mean, what does that mean? Does that mean suddenly our coach is telling us to, get into brawls on the field? Is that what that was? I mean, no, it's, and everyone knows that. Remember Eric Holder? Was it Eric Holder? Or maybe it was Obama. I think it was Obama. One of them said, they bring a knife to the fight, we bring a gun, or some such thing. Whoa, what is that supposed to mean? I mean, on and on down this list we can go. You have to be able to exchange political ideas of all the speech. All speech is important to protect, but political speech is the most important, because if you do not allow people with differing viewpoints to speak out against those in power or to make their voices heard in an election process, then you are assisting one side and hurting the other. That is not appropriate. We have to let the free exchange of ideas take place. That, of course, is not calling for actual violence. But anyway, so she says it is. All this stuff's related. These folks need to be expelled from Congress, including Senator Cruz and Senator Hawley, and probably replaced by a bunch of leftists, just so they can get business done. But that's not what she says. This is what she's out there claiming. Then she does a video, and I'm not comfortable talking about this. I'm not. Because in the video, she says that she was, scared for her life, and that she ran to her office and locked the door, and she heard someone screaming, "Is she in there? Is she in there?" And she said, part of the reason this is, conjuring up so many emotions is because I've been a victim of sexual abuse or assault, and so these things build up on one another. So my personal experience in, having that atrocious thing happen by being sexually assaulted, I'm in that emotional, difficult place, and now I've got this. I'm fearing for my life. She says that Cruz and Hawley effectively tried to murder her. This is what she's out there saying. Well, it turns out, and I got to take a break here, but it turns out there's more to the story that happened that was kind of discussed, if you will, debated on Twitter yesterday. And I want to talk about it because it's easy to not, if you're not super familiar with the Capitol Hill area, then you may not fully grasp what some of these little details are. So you can get the general picture, but anyway, I want to talk about it after the break. So I'm not questioning anything she's saying about sexual assault. How in the world would I know either direction? That's not the point of this. The point of this, I don't even want to get to that. I want to get to where this story is going, and really, I just want to share with you the information, and then you can decide from there. How about that? Journalism the way it's supposed to be done. Quick timeout. You're listening here to America's Reality Czar. Back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and Trane products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a Trane. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial grade service for your home.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Killa Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com, and remember folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-281-0266. 800-281-0266. That's 800-281-0266.
Problems in the bedroom? Not that kind. Bed bugs. At Integrated Pest Control, we make sure you never have to worry about any pests in your home or business again. We are the bed bug specialists with over 20 years of combined experience. Our promise is to keep your home or business completely pest-free for 90 days, or we will retreat the area absolutely free. Visit IntegratedPestControlLLC.com or call 317-349-0094 for your free bed bug inspection.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Welcome back, my friends. So going back here, I'm looking, I'm going to read from this post-millennial article on this. Headline, hashtag Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett. Remember Jussie Smollett back in when he was allegedly at one point beaten up by Trump supporters. Turns out he paid a couple of them to rough him up and to put a noose around his neck or some such thing. Anyway, so that was the hashtag trending on Twitter yesterday. Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett trends on Twitter after it's revealed AOC was not in the Capitol building during the riot. So yesterday, Representative Nancy Mace, who attended the Citadel from South Carolina, I believe, she tweeted out a headline from Newsweek. And in addition to that, she tweeted out, well, she said here, AOC made clear she didn't know who was at her door when someone was knocking on the door saying, who's in there, you know, where is she, that sort of thing. Breathless attempts by media to fan fictitious news flames are dangerous. Correct, by the way. Correct. It is dangerous when the media fans some of these things into an emotional wildfire. They're very good at doing that too. Nancy Mace also tweeted in the same tweet, my office is 2 doors down. Insurrectionists never stormed our hallway. Egregious doesn't even begin to cover it. Is there nothing MSM, mainstream media, won't politicize? So basically, there's the Capitol building, right? The rotunda on the big dome where you can take the tour, and on one side is the House of Representatives, on the other side is the Senate. Nancy Pelosi's office, the Speaker of the House's office, is in there. The other offices are in other buildings that are across the street, a block or two, maybe 3 away. I know the Rayburn office building is one. I'm not sure which one AOC's office was in, but as far as I know, all the rioters went to the Capitol. Maybe they did these other buildings as well. You wouldn't even know necessarily they were off. Well, you know they're office buildings, but you don't necessarily know that they're representative office buildings. So that's where AOC was when she was in her office. And so now there's all this hubbub about, was she, blowing this up for political gain, and is the media helping her to do it? I think those are fair questions, even in spite of, the other part of the story, which is, hey, I was afraid because of, sexual assault. I'm not saying she wasn't afraid or any of that. I'm just saying that there's more to this story that we now have learned thanks to the folks on Twitter. Quick timeout is in order along in this segment. Back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Folks, AOC certainly could have been scared. I mean, it's not as though it's close. The Capitol building is certainly close to these office buildings. But we've also had things used against us emotionally to manipulate the story and to increase pressure to do things politically. And that can't happen as well. So there's a lot more to say about this, but the time, as you can tell from the music, is telling me to shut up. It's time to do that. So guys, as always, I appreciate you listening so much. Be sure to download our podcast for free. Search The Todd Huff Show, SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.